There is a white powder sitting on the shelf at any hardware store in America right now for under $2. It absorbs moisture from the air completely, not reduces it, not slows it down, eliminates it. Dehumidifier companies charge $200, $300, sometimes $500 for machines that do exactly what this powder does passively, silently, and without a single watt of electricity. They have known about this powder for over 100 years. Every engineer who designs dehumidifiers knows exactly what this substance is. And every executive at every humidity control company in America is hoping right now that you turn this video off before you learn its name. Welcome to Hidden Fix. This is where we expose every secret that billion-dollar industries spent decades hiding from ordinary Americans. If this knowledge matters to you, hit subscribe and ring that bell right now because this information disappears faster than you think. Let me take you back to 1915. A chemist named Albert Deal is working inside a small industrial laboratory in Philadelphia. He is not working for a home appliance company. He is working for the United States government, trying to solve one problem that was destroying military equipment, weapons, and stored food supplies across the country: humidity. Moisture in the air was rotting wooden structures, corroding metal weapons, destroying ammunition stockpiles, and spoiling food reserves faster than any enemy ever could. The military needed a solution that was cheap, reliable, and required zero electricity or mechanical parts. Dial spent 2 years testing natural compounds. Then one afternoon he placed a tray of calcium chloride crystals inside a sealed moisture-filled chamber and checked it 6 hours later. The crystals had pulled so much water vapor out of the air that liquid water had pooled at the bottom of the tray. The chamber humidity had dropped from 85% down to 31% with zero power, zero machines, and zero moving parts. The military used this discovery immediately. It protected weapons. It saved food. It preserved equipment across 2 world wars. The formula was never classified because it was never considered a commercial threat. Calcium chloride was just a cheap industrial mineral that anyone could buy by the pound. And that was exactly the problem for the industry that came after it. The science behind this powder is older than America itself. Calcium chloride is a natural salt compound that is hygroscopic, which means it chemically attracts and bonds with water molecules in the surrounding air. When you place calcium chloride crystals in a humid room, the compound begins pulling moisture vapor directly out of the atmosphere and absorbing it into its own crystalline structure. As it absorbs water, it slowly liquefies, collecting the moisture it has removed in liquid form at the base of whatever container holds it. The compound does not run out of absorption capacity until it has fully dissolved into liquid. A single pound of calcium chloride can absorb up to 1.5 pounds of water from the air before it needs replacing. This is not a theory or a folk remedy. This is documented in organic chemistry published in scientific literature going back over a century. The United States Department of Agriculture used calcium chloride to preserve grain storage facilities. The U.S. Navy used it inside submarine compartments to control moisture during long deployments. Industrial food storage companies used it in warehouses long before commercial dehumidifiers were ever invented. This powder has been professionally controlling humidity at industrial scale for over 100 years. Here is what that means for your wallet every single year. The dehumidifier industry in America generates over $3 billion in annual revenue. The average electric dehumidifier costs between $150 and $500 up front. Then it costs between $15 and $30 every single month in electricity just to run. Over 5 years, a single dehumidifier costs an American household between $1,000 and $2,300 in purchase price and operating costs combined. And every single dollar of that depends on you believing that controlling humidity requires a compressor, a fan, a collection tank, electrical wiring, and a machine that breaks down every few years and needs expensive replacement. A $2 bag of calcium chloride powder from any hardware store eliminates that entire cost permanently. You buy it, you place it, it works. No electricity bill. No machine to break. No repair calls. No replacement units. Just chemistry doing exactly what chemistry has always done, quietly and completely, while the industry that replaced it keeps collecting billions from people who simply never heard the name calcium chloride. You can find this powder under several names at any hardware store or online retailer. Calcium chloride, Damprid, moisture absorber crystals, ice melt pellets, which are often pure calcium chloride. The cheapest forms cost between $2 and $8 per pound. Here is exactly how to use it. Take any open container, a bowl, a bucket, a plastic bin, even a coffee can with holes punched in the lid. Pour calcium chloride crystals into the container, filling it roughly halfway. Place the container in the room or area where humidity is a problem. Basements, bathrooms, closets, crawl spaces, garages, and storage rooms are the most common problem areas. Leave it completely undisturbed. Within 24 to 48 hours you will see liquid collecting at the bottom of the container as the powder pulls moisture directly out of the air around it. When the crystals have fully dissolved into liquid, pour out the water, rinse the container, add fresh powder, and repeat. For a 200 square foot room, 1 pound of calcium chloride brings humidity down significantly within 2 days. For larger spaces like full basements, use multiple containers placed in corners and along walls. Total cost for an entire basement, $8 to $15. Total electricity cost, $0. Total maintenance cost, $0. Compare that to the $400 dehumidifier sitting in your neighbor's basement running 24 hours a day, adding $25 every month to their electric bill forever. This works in basements, bathrooms, closets, crawl spaces, boat cabins, RVs, storage units, garages, gun safes, camera equipment cases, and any enclosed space where moisture causes damage, mold, or discomfort. A homeowner in coastal Florida used calcium chloride containers throughout her entire 1,400 square foot basement after 3 different contractors quoted her between $800 and $2.00 to install full dehumidification systems. She spent $22 total on powder from a local hardware store, placed 8 containers throughout the space, and measured her basement humidity dropping from 78% down to 48% within 4 days. 4 days, $22 total. 3 contractors had quoted her up to $2,000 for the same result. That number tells you everything you need to know about why this powder never appears in any home improvement television show, any appliance store recommendation, or any contractor estimate you have ever received in your life. Now I need to be completely honest with you about the limitations. Calcium chloride works extremely well in enclosed spaces with limited air exchange. In rooms with open windows or heavy air circulation, the powder absorbs moisture faster and needs replacing more frequently. In extremely high humidity environments like a full walkout basement during a rainy season, you will need more powder and more frequent replacement cycles. And this method will not cool your air the way a refrigerant-based dehumidifier does in very hot, muggy summer conditions. But for moisture control in enclosed storage spaces, seasonal humidity management, protecting your belongings from mold and mildew, and dramatically reducing humidity in problem areas of your home, calcium chloride delivers real measurable results at a fraction of 1% of the cost of the machines. The industry built a $3 billion empire selling you. The military knew this in 1915. Industrial food companies knew this for decades. The US Navy knew this inside every submarine that ever crossed an ocean. Professional humidity control engineers know this every single day. They hand you a quote for a machine with a compressor and a power cord and a monthly electricity bill attached to it forever. The powder was never secret. The chemistry was never complicated. The only thing that was buried was the simple knowledge that you did not need their machine. That knowledge waited quietly on hardware store shelves for over 100 years while an entire industry collected billions from American families who just wanted dry air in their basement. Today you have that knowledge. Share this video with every person you know who has ever paid a humidity bill, bought a dehumidifier, or called a contractor about moisture in their home. Every single share sends this to someone the industry prayed would never find out. Subscribe because the next secret we crack open is even bigger than this one.